This e-learning video explains how the role of official statistics is starting to take shape in the area of climate change. It contains background on the process and approach taken by the United Nations Statistics Division, UNSD, and key partners, presentation of the recently adopted Global Set, implementation support materials under development, and future work. GHG emissions have been steadily increasing and have kept growing during the pandemic as well. Climate change is now affecting every country with current warming of about 1 degree Celsius. There has been an increased frequency of climate-related events and sea level rise of about 20 centimeters in the last century. The latest IPCC sixth assessment report projects temperature rise between 1 to 5.7 degrees Celsius and sea level rise between 0.5 and 1 meter. The process of development of the Global Set has taken more than 10 years. UNSD has prepared 4 reports to the Statistical Commission, and in 2016, we received a mandate to develop a global set of climate change statistics and indicators. In 2018, the message to strengthen the link between policy and statistics via joint work with the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. In 2020, we presented a state-of-the-art overview for information. And this year, at the 53rd session of the Statistical Commission, we submitted a 4th report accompanied by 2 background reports. The Global Set was adopted as the statistical framework for countries to develop climate change statistics and indicators, and the full text can be consulted in the latest report of the Statistical Commission. We followed a bottom-up approach in collaboration with UNFCCC and the Expert Group on Environment Statistics, and we reviewed multiple national examples on the basis of which internationally applicable indicators were selected. The draft global set had 134 indicators grouped into 5 policy areas as suggested by the IPCC. Those are drivers, impacts, vulnerability, mitigation, and adaptation. A pilot survey was done in 2020 and a global consultation in 2021. The next section presents the global set with its structure and key characteristics. Since there was no framework to link the reporting requirements under the Paris Agreement with the needed official statistics, UNSD and UNFCCC prepared the global set based on the 5 IPCC areas and the FDS, that's the Framework for the Development of Environment Statistics, Chapter 5, with the tiering system as in the FDS and the SDG indicators. And the global set also provides the links to the SDG and Sendai indicators. The global set contains 150 indicators accompanied by 190 statistics, and all these are nested within 34 topics. Connections with the Paris Agreement and its work program adopted in Katowice are depicted by listing the relevant articles and decisions. Since a key element is the connection between the reporting requirements and the relevant statistical methods, these are briefly referenced with the following counts. Most indicators and statistics follow the FDS at 120 in total, then the SDG indicators as 51, then the SEA, that's a System of Environmental Economic Accounting, they have 46, and the International Recommendations of Energy Statistics 23, the Sendai Framework 12, and the IPCC 10. The tier structure, as in the SDGs and the FDS, is based on relevance, methodological soundness, and data availability. There is an illustration of the indicators and statistics side by side with the Paris Agreement articles and Katowice decisions, and a short statistical reference that can be examined in full in our second background report to the Statistical Commission. While further reviews and discussions are needed before the draft climate ESAT, or the Environment Statistics Self-Assessment tool, and the other tools are finalized and widely promoted, and since many countries are already engaged in developing their own sets, UNSD has posted the final global set in an Excel file on our website. There are metadata sheets for each indicator. An example is on renewable freshwater resources that are certainly strongly impacted by climate change, particularly in arid regions. Specific correspondences and short definitions derived primarily from international statistical guidance are included. Following the definition, its source is specified in square brackets. The relevance descriptions are primarily sourced from the IPCC assessment or the original source, and further metadata details include the suggestion of national data sources, data collection methods, category of measurement, and periodicity. And compilation notes are included for some of the indicators at this stage. And finally, we have references to international data collections and denoted if the data is produced by country, estimated by agencies, or modeled as in the SDG database. Methodological guidance includes links to the relevant internationally applicable and official sources for Tier 1 and 2 indicators. For Tier 3 indicators, this field also includes non-statistical references. The global set is to be applied as a guide for countries to prepare their own set, which many countries are already doing. It will help to streamline the supply of data for national policies and international reporting by mapping the commonalities, overlaps, and gaps under multiple policy demands and statistical methods and guidelines. Following the adoption, our main effort currently is directed to ensure adequate implementation support to the countries, especially those most in need, such as SIDS and LDCs. The global set can be accessed from our website. An introduction, description of the development process, and the main characteristics of the global set can be seen in the report of the Secretary General to the Statistical Commission. The full description of the global set and its metadata is included in the background report to the report of the Secretary General entitled Global Set and Metadata. The implementation support materials currently under development will also be uploaded to our website. From our experience, there are certain key implementation steps for countries to embark on the area of climate change statistics. NSOs, in collaboration with climate reporting authorities, should conduct a self-assessment. They should establish a committee or working group with relevant stakeholders. They should map sources of available indicators and statistics and assess them in terms of quality and utility. They should define and prioritize gaps in data and methods. They should collect data and compile statistics and indicators. They should contribute to national policy demands and international reporting requirements. And finally, disseminate national climate change statistics and indicators. The development of draft implementation guidelines was initiated with the help of 2 international consultants to UNSD at the end of last year. This document will be revised and presented at the next expert group meeting on environment statistics in October this year. Similarly, a self-assessment tool is being prepared following the example of the ESAT. The tool is needed, especially as self-assessment is seen as the first and key step, aiming to scope and plan the needed work, in particular to ensure consistency with existing processes and avoid duplication. Part 2 of the Climate ESAT is a template designed to facilitate the assessment of each indicator and statistic against a number of key questions broadly related to the relevance, methodological soundness, and data availability. Further resources and examples of other countries' dissemination products, such as environment statistics compendia and reports on climate change statistics, can be accessed on the UNSD website. The outcomes of the global consultation are also summarized in another background report. There's a growing engagement of countries which can be seen as illustrated by the responses to the global consultation in 2021. We had 86 countries and 25 agencies that responded. Some gaps can be seen on a global map, and the work is going on, and we hope that capacity development activities such as the current one will assist other countries to embark on this important statistical area. There has been a growing institutional development for climate change statistics as we found during the global consultation. The overall picture illustrates that almost all countries have national policies on climate change and institutions with legal mandates to produce climate statistics. Also, the majority of countries have climate included in national statistical strategies, while fewer countries have specific strategies addressing climate change statistics. NSO involvement is reported by the majority of the countries, especially in Europe and Asia. This involvement includes processes related to GHG inventories and current and future reporting to UNFCCC. Most countries also reported ongoing collaboration between NSOs and UNFCCC reporting authorities, as well as the existence of national committees or working groups for broader engagement in the process. The latter is more pronounced in Asian and American countries. There has been advancement of statistical methods and tools addressing climate change. About 12 countries reference that the NSO has developed a specialized climate change survey, for example, like in the case of Nepal, or added a climate change module within an existing census or survey, like Tanzania in their census this year. While most countries do not have such tools at present, nevertheless, the majority do produce climate-related statistics in various forms. The NSOs of Jamaica and Tanzania have produced national climate change statistics reports, and Suriname is planning for one soon. At the international level, as reported by the agencies who provided responses, several produce methodological guidelines and lists of indicators and organize interagency working groups. We have some notes on our future work, and these have been included in the last section of the report of the Secretary General. In terms of capacity development, our key activities include continuous online support, organizing regional workshops to address those big regional gaps that I described earlier, and national missions following raised demands and requests for support. Further methodological development is required, especially for the Tier 3 indicators and statistics, following up ongoing statistical developments. For example, the Convention on Biological Diversity's Biodiversity Monitoring Framework, improving the attribution to climate change, mechanisms of impacts, effectiveness of actions, etc. Training materials, guidelines, and resource mobilization require the development of a strategy with key partners. We have seen many such agencies strongly involved already, and this is only growing. Implementation guidelines have been partially drafted, and further work is required to present this draft at the next expert group meeting to be held in October this year. Developing e-learning, training of trainers, and self-assessment tools are also planned. At the national level, the key is to encourage and help NSOs to use the global set as a tool linking policy with statistics, as I explained earlier, to encourage further engagement and collaboration with reporting authorities to UNFCCC and specialized agencies, and develop data collection tools such as climate change surveys and publish products such as compendia, reports, yearbooks, etc. Thank you very much for your kind attention.